Hey, everybody. So as you mentioned, this is Steve from Murex and Lembeh Resorts. I've been with the company quite a while, and I am the U.S. representative for them. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here just so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. Take me just a couple of clicks, and there we go. Now we have pretty pictures and not my ugly face. So I want to talk to you about something we call a passport to paradise. For those that aren't familiar with that, that is three different resorts, three completely different dive types, two different types of diving, different resorts in nearly the same area, all in one vacation. Seamless transfers along the way. And even better, Dreamweaver Travel has a trip already booked for this, going to be in May in 2027. So they have a trip that you can get on, or we can take another one just for you. So let's go through and take a look and see what it really looks like. There we go. Have to get my slideshow moving there. To start out with, where are we? Obviously, we're in Indonesia. We're in North Sulawesi, which is down in the middle of that slide. North Sulawesi is also right in the middle of the coral triangle. So we're very well located for the corals and fishes that you're going out there to see. This little blow up is the very tip of that island. So we talked about that passport to paradise. So you would fly into Manado, which is right there in the middle, the little airport signature. We pick you up at the airport. We bring you out to Murex Manado, our resort. There you're going to be diving Bunaken National Park. This is all wall diving. So all the beautiful things you would expect to see on a wall dive. Our packages are completely customizable, so however many nights you are at that resort, you're going to be diving those walls. Once you're ready to move to the next resort, you're going to have breakfast at the resort, hop on the dive boat. We're going to take you out for 2 dives, and we'll have you up to Bangka Island, up at the top of that slide by lunchtime. Bangka Island is a completely different type of diving. Up here, you're going to be doing all reef diving. Now you're looking at broadcub cuttlefish, your sea snakes, your pygmy seahorses, all up in that area. Again, every package is customizable, but you'll be up there a number of days, whatever your package is. The last day, you put your clothes in a bag. We pick them up. We handle all the transfers, all your dive gear, everything. Hop on the dive boat, go do 2 dives. We bring you down to Lembeh Resort. Lembeh Resort's going to be, again, completely different kind of diving. Now you're doing all your muck diving, looking for those cool critters on the bottom. So let's take a look at what those resorts would actually look like. We'll start Murex Manado. Most of our passport to paradises start in Murex Manado. However, you can start at any of the resorts, whatever works best for you. As I mentioned, they're all wall dives out here. The water in this area is close to 10,000 feet deep. Most of our walls are several hundred to 1,000-foot drop-offs, but they start in about 20 feet of water. So the tops of the reefs are absolutely gorgeous. You'll go out on our dive boats. All the dive boats are well equipped. They have bathrooms on board. We have oxygen on board. You have a dry area in the front, wet area in the back. Guests can use both the roof and the bow if you'd like to get out and get a little sun. We typically put about 10 divers on the boat, maximum of 14 people, and you're going to have no more than 4 divers to one of our guides. We believe in nice, easy diving here. We want you to enjoy your vacation. And then what are you going to see? We definitely have tons of turtles. We've gone as high as about 65 turtles on one dive that we see in this area. The typical are going to be your green sea turtles and your hawksbill, but we do have several other kinds as well that wander through from time to time. Schooling fish and the corals. The corals here, again, as I mentioned, we're in the middle of the coral triangle. The deep water keeps everything up the same temperature pretty much all year round, which makes for amazing coral growth. The walls, as I mentioned, sheer drop-offs, sometimes as deep as 1,000 foot on the first drop. All beautiful tops of those corals. But when you're done, what do you do now? Well, first thing most people do is they got to go dry their camera off. We have a full camera room at all 3 resorts. Everybody has their own cubicle, power, everything that you would need to work on your camera, clean it up, or just download your pictures and get ready for that next dive. And then you have the resort itself. Here's a nice picture of our restaurant. It's a fairly new restaurant. We built it a couple years ago. Off to the right is a diver lounge area. but we really don't use that restaurant much. We typically go down and eat on the beach every night. As long as the weather's good, we're going to eat out in the open because why not? We're on vacation. Not everybody has a beach in their backyard. Let's eat in the beach, right? And then you have the Diver Lounge. Diver Lounge is just a great little place to hang out, have a beer if you'd like. All these tables are built from recycled lumber where they were widening a road in Manado. We were able to capture that lumber and make all of our tables out of it. It's truly a beautiful little area to just kick back, relax, watch the sunset. Some of the rooms, all of the rooms are all about the water here. As you can see, not only are these on the ocean, but they're also right on a river. We have two different rivers that run through this resort. All nicely appointed, air conditioned, everything that you would expect to find at a dive resort. Then we have some of our premium rooms as well. This room here is a duplex. We have both duplexes and singles. As you can see, there's actually a water feature that goes all the way around this room. It's flowing water. You can open the windows, get that water noise at night if you'd like. All with private balconies out front. Very nicely appointed rooms. Everything beautiful. We have a freshwater pool. This is a brand new room we just opened in December. This we call our oceanfront cottage. It has a private beach. Those stairs walk directly down to the ocean. If you notice over on the left-hand side, that actually is a bathtub. Now the wall does close up if you'd like, but do you notice there on the lower right-hand side, you want to take a bath right around sunset and look out? It's a private beach. It's yours. Enjoy it. This room is built for two, but we have day beds on either side. It's great for families. We can put two people in the beds as well as two people off in those day beds as well. So it'll hold four if you would like. You fell in love with Murex Manado. It's now your favorite place in the world, but you've been here 2 days, 5 days, whatever your package is, it's time to go. You have breakfast, you put your clothes in a bag, we handle everything else. We transfer your clothes, we put the dive gear on the boat. You're going to hop on the boat and go do 2 dives. We'll have you up to Murex Bangka by lunch. On all of our group trips, all three resorts have house reefs. You can see the house reef in this picture. House reef diving is free. Ask for a tank, we'll take you out there. No problem at all. The diving here is very different. Diving here now is going to be all reef diving. So you have a bottom. And this is what it looks like. You have all the schooling fish you would expect, soft corals. We do have current in this area. That's why we have such vibrant reefs and corals, but we simply do not swim against it. You guys are on vacation. We put a guide in the water beforehand. He swims around, figures out which way to go. We go that way. If the current changes, we change directions. Why not? It's too much trouble to swim against the current. Let's go with it. Again, the beautiful diving and beautiful colors all in this area. We have our pygmy seahorses. We have the white-tip reef sharks out in this area. They're pretty easy to find. They hang out under the table corals. Once you're back at the resort, we have dive lockers for all your gear, but honestly, the guests never go there. We put your gear on the boat. We set it up for you. You just make sure it's all there. When you're done diving, you get off the boat. We take care of it. We wash it. We hang it up.
Yeah. It's ready.
Somebody needs to mute there. Again, we have a nice camera room, nice couch. There's a TV in here. If you want to look at your pictures right in the camera room, you're welcome to. We have a beautiful beach in this area, just a nice place to hang out. These cottages that you see here are right on the ocean front. If you happen to have brought your cell phone with you, open the window, you can throw it in the ocean right from here. No problem at all. They are really nice rooms, but they're right on the waterfront. And I'll give you a little secret for those of you who've been here before. We're going to be taking them down in the very near future. These rooms are going to be gone. We're going to be building even nicer rooms right on the ocean front that look more like our premium cottages. They look more like these or some of the others. These are some of our hillside cottages. Again, some are set up as duplexes, some are set up as singles. All very nicely appointed. The bathrooms are all nice. A lot of them are outside showers. So you get the sunlight while you're taking a shower. I promise nobody can peek in. There's walls. You all have private balconies. These are our premium cottages. You have two standalones. The one that's on the left-hand side is really nice for families. It is actually two complete separate cottages with a shared living room in between. So if you have either good close friends or maybe families with adult children, this is a great room where you can be together, but also be separate. Again, private balconies that look out over the ocean, all very nicely appointed. And then we have our new restaurant right out here so you can watch the sunsets. We have a full bar on the left-hand side as well as a small lounge off to the side over there. In the background, you can see the camera room. Oh, the dive center is back in that area. And now you're torn. Is Murex Manado your favorite or is Murex Bangka your favorite? Hard to say. Well, we're going to make it even harder. You're going to hop on the dive boat. You're going to head out, do 2 dives, and we're going to get you out to Lembeh Resort. A touch of luxury in the heart of Lembeh. Lembeh is truly beautiful. You can see the house reef right out in front. We find blue ring octopus out here, ribbon eel, all the interesting little critters that you would find in Lembeh. Some of them we find right on our house reefs. The diving here is very easy and it's very close. Our typical dive site is going to be 10 to 15 minutes away from the dive resort here at Lembeh. You have a nice diver lounge right in the front. The dive boats dock right on our black sand beach. You simply walk up, often in between dives. You just hang out right here in the diver lounge. Leave your wetsuit on. There's seats there. A little off to the right-hand side, you'll see a small bar. During the day, that's water, drinks, cokes. In the evening, we bring down the bintang because the sun sets directly across the strait behind 2 volcanoes. It's a beautiful place to just sit and watch that sunset. Full dive lockers. Here you do actually use them. I mentioned the other resorts that you don't go to the dive lockers. The dive sites are so close, most guests will put their wetsuit on up to their waist and hop on the dive boat. So we do that here. Just a nice, easy place to do it. We have a full camera facility here. We are a backscatter authorized dealer. We have rental equipment. We can do typical repairs. We also have an on-staff camera photo pro that can do classes here. Full camera room, just like you have at the other resorts. Everything that you would expect to have, you'll find in our camera rooms. And then we have the rooms themselves. This is our cliffside villa. That is actually one room. On one side is a bedroom. The other side is the living room. That is your private pool. It is a beautiful little place tucked into the mountainside. Again, very nicely appointed. 2 separate buildings, but all yours. We also have our hillside cottages as well as our premium luxury cottages. They're all appointed about the same. For those of you who have been there before, the hillside cottages are right now being remodeled. We're actually done with room number 12 and we're working on the other ones right now. They should be finished very soon. All remodeled and they'll all look just like these pictures that you're seeing here. They've been enlarged as well as remodeled. The stairs are all being taken out and redone so that they're all the same levels. We have a garden view rooms as well. Our garden view rooms are nice diver cottages. They're a little bit smaller and they don't have that beautiful view out over the strait, but they are a little lower price point. So if you have a single diver, this is a great place for them. Often you can get, even with a single supplement, you can get in these rooms less expensive than some of the others. Again, nicely appointed. Everything that you would need is going to be in there. And then there's the food. You got plenty of food here. You're going to have a full restaurant. Typical dinners are going to be by menu with a small bar as well to pick from. You'll notice on the left-hand side, we have cook station. All 3 resorts for all 3 meals will have something that we're going to cook. And in that lower right-hand side, you will see there's a sprinkle station. At Lembeh, they're going to have ice cream pretty much every day. Most of the other resorts, we will as well. You got to have sprinkles when you have ice cream. It's just why not, right? Again, beautiful restaurant. You can see across the strait. There are 2 volcanoes on the other side of the strait. The sun sets right between them in the season. It's absolutely gorgeous over there. We also built a brand new spa. This just opened in December. It is a fairly large spa in that we can take about 6 people at a time for treatments. So there's no waiting in line. A lot of times you go to a resort, you try to get a massage, you just can't get one because they're all booked up. We can typically get you in. The spa is beautiful. It has a pond right in the middle of the waiting room. We can do manicures and pedicures. I think we can even do hair there if you tell us ahead of time. But who does hair on a dive vacation, right? But if you want it, we got it. And then, of course, there's the critters. For those of you that haven't been muck diving before, let me explain it a little bit. So, first off, muck is a horrible term. It's not mud by any means. It's typically black sand or white sand bottoms, is what we have. And we have critters. You see here a mimic octopus. We also have the wonder puss. We have the blue ring octopus. We have coconut octopus. We have long arm octopus. There's a hairy octopus. There's an algae octopus. Go on a night dive, you're going to find the starry night octopus. I could go on, but I'm going to embarrass myself because I'm going to forget one pretty soon. And then you have the other cool critters. We have flamboyant cuttlefish and frogfish of every shape and size. We even have a hairy frogfish down there that we can typically find on several different dives. They're just amazing creatures. If you want to go out at night, we do mandarin fish dives a couple of times a week. And then we have blackwater and bonfire dives. For those that have never done these, we do offer them at all three resorts. The blackwater dives are in deep water, depending on where you're at, sometimes several thousand feet deep. The largest migration on the planet happens every night, and it's in the open ocean. All of the little critters come up from the bottom and rise up to the surface to feed. So we put a light down in the water, we drop you down on that light and look at the cool little critters. On the bonfire dives, we do it more on a bottom. We put a light down on that bottom, bring those cool critters into the water column, and then do a night dive around it, and then swim into that light to see what we've found. And these are some of the things that you'll find. Small octopus in their larval stage, paper nautilus, just amazing little critters that come up from that bottom every night. If you don't want a dry day, we have a lot of different options that we can do. We have Tencoco National Park. That is one of our most popular tours, best done from Lembeh, but can be done from any of the places. We have village tours, highlands tours. For those of you that haven't got enough adrenaline going, paragliding, whitewater rafting, you name it, we can get it done for you. That's our passport to paradise. Three different dive resorts, three different types of diving, all in one great vacation. When do you want to come? Let's get them signed up. Okay?
Fabulous, Steve. That was amazing.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you so much. We really appreciate it. So, I don't see a lot of questions, but I'm guessing there are a lot of people that have questions. I thought of a couple for you since I've done some research.
Sure.
How many divers per guide on each of the resorts?
How many divers per guide? You typically are going to have no more than 4 divers to a guide. That's our standard, and it really depends. If we have just couples, often there's 1 or 2 divers to the guide. And if you're going out diving and your buddy doesn't want to go, well, your guide's your buddy. Doesn't mean you can't go diving. You're good.
Fabulous. Now, I love the 4 divers per guide. It makes all the difference in the world when you have small critters and you don't want to crowd them. A question that just came in was wondering about the best and worst time of year to go.
Absolutely. Best and worst time of year. So typically our highest season, and to be fair to all the other months, it's because I tell everybody it's the highest season, it is October. That is going to be sold out every year in advance. It's kind of the best bet between the seasons. Typically, February is what we mark as the worst season. And the only problem with it is it's a middle of our rainy season. It will rain probably every day in February. But to be fair, it rains typically in the evenings. So it usually doesn't affect our diving at all. So we're pretty close to year round there. And water temperatures are the same pretty much year round.
And what are those water temperatures?
You're looking at about 80 degrees roughly between Murex Manado and Murex Bangka. So about 78 to 80. As you move over to Lembeh, it is a little cooler. On the opposite sides of Lembeh, it is well over 10,000 feet deep, and that flow comes up through there. So you're looking at about 77 to 79 in there, depending on how the wind's blowing.
Fabulous. I know Steve probably knows the answer to this, but Steve Weaver asked if a private dive can be or a private guide can be hired.
Absolutely. A private guide can be hired, and they can be hired for different things. Sometimes people just want a private guide, no problem at all. But it's also important that to note a lot of our guides, most of them, honestly, have been photo trained. So a lot of times we have photographers that want to do different types of photography, and we can hire a photo private guide as well. If nothing else, just carry your cameras for you. or to help you set up.
Perfect. And Steve, you had mentioned the Photo Pro over at Lembeh, but you have them at the other two resorts as well?
We don't have on-staff photo pros at the other resorts. Now, we do have camera equipment, we have rentals, we do have people that are very knowledgeable in photo. They've been trained, they know what's going on, but I don't have an on-staff photo guide. However, if you want to take classes, they can be set up anywhere you need to be.
Very good. And then another question that came in was food allergies. I would assume that you can accommodate for just about everything.
Absolutely. We can accommodate for nearly everything. I want to do say nearly vegan, vegetarian, absolutely, no problem at all. Allergies to seafood or other things, no problem at all. I had a guest that went with me that was allergic to onions, and onions are in everything. But we made him
Right.
special soups at night that didn't have onions. We do struggle a little bit with things that require a blessing, so it's kind of hard to do some of those type of meals like kosher. We just don't have the facilities for that, but we can
Okay.
do almost everything.
Perfect. We have another question that came in, and do your packages accommodate single travelers?
Absolutely. Any package that we do, we can do a single traveler. Some of the rooms hold single travelers better than others. There is typically a single supplement, and I would definitely recommend get with Dreamweaver Travel on that, on the exact prices, because it's going to depend on the package where that lands. I highly recommend those rooms I talked about at Lembeh Resort for the Garden View rooms. Helps to keep that price down even with that single supplement.
Oh, that's a great suggestion. Thank you. What about we have a question about seasonal animals. Are there animals that are there that you only see in certain seasons?
Not really. There's so much that's unknown. You will see more animals different times a year. When I mentioned October, that's one of the nice things there is you're going to get the summer animals and the winter animals. And I use those terms here in the US because we don't have a summer and a winter. We have the rainy season and the dry season. But for example, the blue ring octopus, it seems their mating cycle is on an 18-month mating
Oh,
cycle.
wow.
So you tend to see more of them certain times a year, but only every other year. So really, you're going to see more in that, around that October time because you get both of those seasons, the dry and the wet. But you will see virtually everything virtually all year.
Oh, I love that. And then we do have a question which is very relevant. I think this is one of the best ones, Terry. Thank you. When is the least buggy time of year to be there?
Least buggy. I like that. I would honestly, and honest, I have to own up. I almost always tell people that it never rains in August. If you have no fresh water, you don't have any mosquitoes. However, I just got back, which means I was there most of August, and it did rain a fair amount. So our dry season is going to be there. So you're really looking at June, July, August. That's our dry season. That'll be the least buggy. But to be fair, I live in Florida. The mosquito is our state bird. We do have a lot less mosquitoes and bugs in Indonesia than we do in Florida. Um, so
Well,
hope that
that's good because the Florida ones can carry you away.
they can, and they get friends to help them.
They sure do. Let's see. Another question that I thought of is there are some people that will travel with yoke style valves and din style regulators. Can you accommodate both?
Absolutely. Everything we do is going to be able to accommodate both. We have adapters on board, so we're just going to set you up however your gear is set up.
Perfect. And then another one that could benefit some of our families out there is do you guys see kids come to your resorts often?
Absolutely. Oddly enough, we actually have 2 weeks, two different groups booked that are all kids coming to the resorts. I was just there. There was actually a 15-year-old girl. We actually put her in some of our promo videos, but she just got certified at the resort, was a little nervous about diving. Once she did her first dive, she never missed another dive the whole time she was there. But we do, like I say, we do accommodate kids, no problem. We do have daycare as well for really
Oh, good.
small kids. So that can be arranged as well. But our diving is definitely safe for children that are competent divers, of course. And as I say, we do kids trips as well.
That is awesome. Let's see. Um, Oh, I thought someone was sending something over. Great preemptive on the kids one on the babysitting. I was going to ask about that. That's for kids, grandkids, that's a huge and beneficial service for everyone to be able to offer. And then with your camera rooms, all three locations have nice large camera rooms with different spaces, correct?
Absolutely. All three have camera rooms. They all have individual cubies that is going to be your setup, towels, power, fans. We have a tank outside to blow your gear off before you come in. Pretty much everything you would expect to find in a camera room.
Perfect. Any other parting thoughts you want to share with us?
I think best thing I can offer is let's go diving. Go see your travel agents.
Agreed.
Let's get this thing booked. I will have a booth there for anybody who thinks up a question later. Please come see me at ScubaCon. I'm not sure where exactly I be, but you can hear my voice. I'm quite loud. So come find me.
Perfect. Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so grateful for you coming and presenting these three wonderful resorts with Murex and Lembeh. We look forward to seeing you this upcoming weekend. Everybody, make sure to stop by Steve's booth. I'm sure you'll think of more questions to ask between now and then.
Absolutely.
Um,
And I have good
let's,
candy too.
what's that?
And I have good candy too.
Oh, there you go. That is the number one draw. Big, good candy is very important.